Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. I'm going to give you something of value to you. Sometimes things of value are not well taken because sometimes it comes from a place of ignorance, not from the person giving the information or disseminating that information. It comes from the people that are listening because we're stuck in our ways. We're stuck in our habits. We have cognitive dissonance, which means that once something new is introduced to you, you fight against it because you're stuck with what you were taught, what you were told, what you believe. Even when what you were taught, what you were told, and what you believe, you have never challenged it. So you can even come to the point where you're vehemently against someone giving you anything different than what you already have been exposed to. This may be one of those cases. There are a lot of people that believe in medical science. It has its place. I believe in medical science as long as it stays in its place. But what I believe first and foremost is that nature trumps everything. What are you made of, ladies and gentlemen? The earth. That's what's in us as well. There are many elements that's in the earth that's in us. Doesn't it stand to reason that we should put those things in our bodies as well because we are part of the earth? 70% of our bodies is water. So you know it stands to reason that we have to have a significant amount of water in our bodies. Now, this subject today, as brief as it may be, is do I trust my doctor or a doctor? Within reason, I do. I've made this statement and assertion before. Now I'm making it again. This is designed to get you to think these statements that I'm about to make to you. First of all, in an absolute emergency where it involves saving one's life, I believe in emergency medical care. I personally do. If I'm dying and a medical professional can save me, I want them to do so. If one of my children or someone close to me is dying and need care, I want that medical professional to serve them and save their lives if possible. But they are not God. Okay? Let's understand, let's comprehend, let's overstand this. No one outside of me, brother teacher, knows more about me than me. Should I repeat that again? No one outside of me knows more about me, this physiology, this mind, more than I do. Because this is me. This is my body. So now, here's what I'm getting at. If I go to the hospital, if you go to the hospital, but let's back up again. If I go to the hospital and I greet a doctor for the first time that I have never met in my life for 15 or 20 minutes, they prescribe me some medication for a headache or some other ailment. How do they know about my physiology? How do they know how my body is going to respond to that medication? How do they know this? They don't. I just met you. I've been in your office, in your medical facility for less than half an hour. And all of a sudden you're prescribing me things. Okay? Generally speaking. So, let's back up. A week ago today, I had a stroke, according to the doctors at the hospital. My customers were concerned about me. My son-in-law was concerned about me. He called emergency medical. They came and took me to the hospital and they performed tests and I stayed for a day and a half. Okay. They told me I had a stroke. They found a blood clot. They dissolved it. My blood pressure was extremely high. and they gave me medication. The next day, I was seeing double from the medication. I wasn't seeing double before that. It took a whole 24-hour period approximately for that to go away, dissipate. And I'm back to how I was, or I feel exactly how I did prior to that incident. So, when I was in the emergency room, laying on the bed, they were inserting an IV needle in my arm, and they made a mistake. I heard them say, "Oh, I blew it." And he said, "What?" They said, I blew a vein. Okay, look at my arm. Close as I can get. It used to be more pronounced than this. It was much darker than this, like a beet. You can see this area right here. It took up that space, and then there was a slight one on this arm here. If you can see this area here, they blew a vein here, and now I have a knot about the size of a dime where my vein is in my left arm. So what I'm saying to you is this: medical professionals are not perfect. They made a mistake in this arm, and they not only made a mistake in this arm, they had to stick me again in this arm and twice in my other arm. But you believe in medicine, modern medicine? What about the mistakes? Who accounts for that when they make mistakes? Human error. It does happen, yes. That is one of the reasons that I am vehemently against having ordinary doctor's visits where they have to cut on you, where they have to stick needles in you and prescribe medication for you that you can otherwise avert or not use if you take proper care of yourselves. Doctors should be used, mind you. Medical facilities should be used, mind you, but sparingly, not as a normal go-to. Do you follow what I'm saying? They made a mistake. This knot that's in my arm has been here for a week now. Who's to say that that won't be a blood clot? I don't know. It's a mistake. I've worked in the medical industry before. I've been a CNA for a decade and done in-home care and so forth. So what happens if this progresses to something worse and maybe another blood clot? You follow what I'm saying? So now, I am not discouraging anyone from utilizing doctors because they are great at what they do. But we must realize that they are also limited. They absolutely are. And did you not know? And if you didn't, I'm going to tell you right now. The third leading cause of death in America is death by doctor. Look it up. I've known this for years. Aside or beside cancer and heart attack death, the third leading cause of death is death by doctor. Misprescribing drugs, surgery, prescribing too much drugs or not the proper drug, or giving too much in the way of drugs to people. It just simply is. I'm going to leave a link below so that you can follow up one particular article. I think it's CNBC, where death by doctor is actually the third leading cause of disease. Not disease, but death. I'm sorry. I have a lot on my mind. But third leading cause of death. So now, at the end of the day, when I say doctors have a place, we must learn, us, myself, you, and all of us, use some discretion. Only use medical facilities sparingly. If you don't have to use them, don't use them. Stand your ground. So, what I'm really encouraging you to do is this before I part. Study you. Did you hear what I said? Study you. Study us. And realize that this body was given to us by the Creator. We have to take care of it. We are the primary caregiver of ourselves, not a third party. It's that simple. Now, if we break down after we've been taking good care of ourselves for the most part and maintaining ourselves for the most part, then and only then should we allow someone else to step in. That simple? I hope so. This is Brother Teacher. Yahweh loves you, and I love you. Take great care of yourselves and learn yourselves.